Daniel, here's the big question that's going to lead into everything.
All right.
All these problems with the Eagles, right? Sky's falling, everyone's panicking, 2 losses in a row. I don't even remember the last time that's happened to the Philadelphia Eagles. So here it is. What is the number one thing? If you could say, hey, there's one thing, because we know we got more than one problem, but what's the one problem that will most turn around this team? Ooh, my table's shaking. Yeah, it's a lot, right? Like it just hit me as we were going live. I'm like, I'm going to throw this out there and we'll go from there because we know there's more than one thing.
Man.
See, I stumped you from the beginning.
See, because the thing is, play calling's too generic, right? That's too. I don't want to give you a play calling answer.
Yeah.
So the answer is that it's either going to be taking our foot off the gas, right? We go into the second half with a lead and we just suddenly stop doing anything productive, right? It's either something like that, or it's our front seven isn't as nearly as good as I thought it was going to be this year.
Yeah. That's interesting you said about to take the foot off the gas, because that is, I agree that's true. And what's interesting is it just hit me that even with other play callers, we've had that. Now, last year, we struggled to score in the first quarter, but I think it was 2023 before the collapse when they started 10-1, right? We were piling up huge first half leads and then holding teams off in the second half.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with a version of what you just said when you said front seven. So you're talking defense. Is I'm going to take part of that and combine it, because I think it's the big thing that we're not talking about. All these other things are affected by, and that's the play of both the lines, the trenches, offensive and defensive lines, because of all the other stuff, because of A.J. Brown drama, because the play calling sucks, because of course the media hates Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley's not. All of that is our lines, which have been the staple of this team for about a decade now. Howie's been like, it all starts there.
Dude, two and a half decades. I remember the Jeremy Mayberry days and John Runyon days. Our lines have always been good, from John Runyon to Jeremy Mayberry to this newer iteration of Mailata and Kelsey, and now we have Dickerson and Johnson. And it can't be that just because Mekhi Becton left, it can't. He can't. He couldn't have been that crucial. Could he have been? Right. Even the few years where we had Jason Peters, he couldn't have been that crucial to the success of this offensive line. So I wonder if the offensive line is saying the same thing that we're saying as fans, in that.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to get a new computer. That's just, it's freezing. I mean, I'm online. It's not the internet. I'm online. It's just like freezing up. I closed everything else that I have. But yeah, I mean, that's my thing, and especially the offensive line, right? Like they're not bad, but it's a huge step down from last year.
Yeah, no, I was agreeing with you, and I said, even back to the Runyon days and the Jeremy Mayberry days, up to the Jason Peters days, and now the Kelsey and Johnson and Dickerson and Mailata.
Man.
It's like we throughout my entire life as an Eagles fan, the line's always been good. It's always been an above average to really good offensive line that can get out and run block, that can get out ahead of a running back or a wide receiver on a bubble play, and 5-7 yards down the field already getting their blocks done to pull a big play. But I was saying, CDS, I said, it's either Becton was that instrumental in tying it all together, because Kelsey wasn't here last year, right? Jurgens is good, right? We saw that last year. Jurgens he's good. So it's either Becton was instrumental in tying it together, or the line is saying the same. They're saying and seeing. This just isn't working out today, huh? I'm about to say what I just said. I just don't want to have him miss out on this time. Appreciate everybody that's come by, hanging out with us today, by the way. Everybody who's watching this on replay, I just want to make sure he hears my point.
Dude, all right. It's fun. Some of that I could hear it, but it was like it's freezing up on me. So I'm definitely gonna have to do the computer thing because this is out of control.
I
But
was saying they could be
about
like
Becton, yeah.
no, I I was saying that maybe they're saying and thinking what a lot of us fans are thinking, and after they could be demoralized to the point based on the play calling to where they're not giving their all like they should, right? They could be
Ooh,
tired of it as well, and I know these guys are pros. I understand they're pros, but you
but they're
need
human.
exactly. So they could just be fed up with it, and right if you're doing the same block every single play, eventually by the eighth, ninth time around, you're done with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're done with it after hearing the same play call being called by Jalen Hurts 6 times in a row.
yeah.
Right? At some point you're just done with it. So that could be a part of it as well. They're just tired of it. I don't know.
That could be 100% because it's been broken down. A
Dude,
lot of people putting it out
we're
there.
hearing Lane Johnson talk about this. We're hearing Mailata
Yep.
talk. When do we
How
hear these
predictable.
guys talk about this?
And
Never.
everybody's saying it. Everyone's like, oh, well, when the Eagles are in this formation, they run 90% of the time. And when they're in this formation, they pass 85% of the time. And 100%. And
Yeah.
to that point, because I actually did a video earlier on this with showing some of it where I got some clips, is that effort thing.
Mhm.
And this hurts. Well, it hurts the whole team, but it also obviously hurts Jalen Hurts that people aren't talking about. Is I have seen a lot of lack of effort in route running from all of the receivers.
Yeah.
So it's like they're like, I don't know if it's like you were saying, they're like, well, this route running together with these guys, we're not going to get open. It's like I'm not the first option, so I'm not. It's not. And I did one where it's like every time they run 2-2, where they've got Dallas Goedert motions out. We've got two left, two right. They run two guys who go 5 yards down the field and turn around, and the other two run long. And it's like every time.
Yeah, dude. For non-football guys, sorry to cut you off. For non-football
No, you're
guys,
good.
right? I'm a fan, right? I'm a fan. I'm not. I don't know the X's and O's like that. I don't know the verbiage like that. But when I watch guys like hate him or love him, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. When I see Acho break this down, he did like a 3-minute breakdown of like, here we are. He did like a down and to go breakdown. Did you see this video?
I'm not sure if I saw that one. I've seen a few of them. He does a lot of them.
He did like a down and to go. First down, 10 to go. Eagles offense lines up like this.
Yeah.
Second down, 8 to go. They line up like this. First
So
down, 10 to go. They do this. Second down, 8 to and dude, you're watching this and you're thinking he's repeating himself. Like you think it's just a looped video. That's but no, he's just taking different time. It's
wild.
It's bad. Like when you see it broken down by a football guy, it's even worse. You know what I mean? It's even worse when because we're pissed as fans, but they're like disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. It drives them. Yeah, I love seeing stuff like that, and it's funny because he's one for me where he's so hit and miss. Like sometimes I see the stuff he does, and I'm like, man, you're hating on these people. You have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm like, I'm never gonna watch you again. And I mean, I do, because we've talked about this before. It's like you can't agree with people all the time. And if they're good, you're going to take the good takes and the bad takes, and you're going to learn stuff. So I will watch, because sometimes he absolutely nails it as well. And he does know what he's talking about, even if he lets his, like so many do when it comes to the Eagles, lets a little of that emotion in and gets a little irrational at times.
Yeah, but it's interesting with him because when Hurts has a good game, he breaks it down, you're like, oh, this is a former Eagle right here breaking it down. But when he has a bad game, it's like, are you just hating, man? Like, are you just
Yeah.
are you just hating right now?
But to that point, who one of the biggest haters in the world of Jalen Hurts
Chase Daniels
is exactly, ex-Eagles quarterback, right? I mean, he has lost his mind when it comes to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles in general, for the most part. Like
he's
I
one
saw
of
a
the few
video.
players who's crossed his organization who I don't even look at as an Eagle. Like I don't even associate with anything Eagles.
It's so bad I actually forget about it, and then someone will bring it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, crap, he actually played here, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a tweet from him where the Steelers ran the tush push and they got called for a false start because, like 4 guys left a half hour early. And Chase Daniels tweets out, "Oh, they don't call it against the Eagles." Where the one time they showed us with the Eagles, it was who was it? I think it was Steen. His right arm came like a split second early if you did it in like super slow-mo 10x, right? Like live, you couldn't tell at all. Whereas the Steelers live, you see the entire line move. Like that's how nuts that he is.
Yeah,
okay. He like I can't take him seriously on anything for that reason. But yeah, and Nacho has a point, and I think one of the clips that I showed, it might have been from him. Brian Baldinger, the ex-Eagle, also does a great job of breaking stuff down, which is kind of where I got. I had seen a still of the one play that I told you about when they have the 2-2 and how they run the same pattern. And the thing is, they run it on like 3rd and long, and the guys running short are running 4 yards, and it's like 3rd and 8, and they're turning around and sitting down. So there's no way they're getting the first down. But you can see, because I did the breakdown with the Giants, you could see how easily the Giants were defending it. Like Hurts has absolutely nowhere to go with the football.
Yeah.
And one of the things I also love, and it's funny because, like, I mean, I didn't play football at a high level or anything. I'm like you as a fan, but I love getting into that stuff. Like I was, as a kid, I was playing the Stratomatic football, so run and play, like all that stuff has always fascinated me. So I love learning it. And I'm a little older than you. When I grew up, we didn't have all this stuff that these guys do, giving us different angles and everything, which I think is it adds so much to it. Because, for example, the Jalen Hurts, was it a couple games ago, the overthrow of AJ Brown, and
gave up on the play.
All you see on TV is the one angle, and you're like, man, he overthrew him. But nowadays, with these guys doing this stuff, you get to see all these other angles, and it's like, AJ Brown just flat gave up on that route, man. And you get guys like Kurt Warner who are so good at what they know and explaining it.
Yeah.
It just brings a whole nother element to it, and it's like, it's good to have.
It's good you brought up Kurt Warner, because there was a Tua play a couple weeks ago against the Bills where he threw an interception and Acho crushes him for the interception, and then Kurt Warner calls him out. I did a video on this on the channel. Kurt Warner calls him out and saying, "Hey, Acho, are you just going to sit and complain, or are you actually going to explain what he did wrong?"
That's awesome. Yeah, Kurt Warner, man. And I forget, there was a specific team that got him fired up, and I can't remember who it is now, but he went off this week on tweets, like responding to random people with like 17 followers and like giving this detailed breakdowns of stuff, which I thought was like awesome, because for those of us that want to know and learn, and we appreciate the game more by knowing more, it was fantastic. And I was at the point where I'm like, Kurt, could you please call the Eagles and just, like, I know you don't want to be an OC, but maybe a consultant, like, help them out, learn, maybe they can learn a few things. But it was really interesting hearing him break down from a QB perspective about all the things that have to be absolutely perfect for a play to be successful, and how the littlest thing being off by any of the other players messes up the QB. And yet if the throw's not exactly where it needs to be, everyone automatically will blame the QB because they're like, oh, but he was open. And it's interesting. And the whole point really kind of getting into this for me is, I think with a lot of quarterbacks, that gets accepted. Like, I think the sports media reporting, they take that into consideration, but they never do it. They never do it for Jalen Hurts. Never give him the benefit of the doubt. It's like this past week, the Bills started out 4-0 as well, and they lost their next 2 games. And Josh Allen was absolutely crap last game.
Yeah, and it's all
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had a really good game in a loss, and through his very first season, and all you heard was how bad he was. Josh Allen has a terrible game in a Bills loss, and all you hear about is, well, Josh Allen doesn't have anyone. It's all Josh Allen, so it's not his fault. He's awesome. It's like they completely flipped the script. In the last 4 games, or even total, actually, for the season, if you want to put 4 games in, Jalen Hurts has, I don't know, a couple hundred yards fewer than Josh Allen. They have the same completion percentage. Jalen Hurts has thrown 8 touchdowns and only 1 pick. Josh Allen has thrown 11 touchdowns, but he's thrown 4 picks. And all we hear about is how awesome Josh Allen is, and he has no help, and how terrible Jalen Hurts is. That's what annoys me. It's like you're clearly giving us a bias in your so-called reporting.
Yeah.
So that's the problem
Yeah.
with guys like that. And that's where I want to not listen to people, because we can have a disagreement, but when it's clear that it's an emotional personal bias, and I'm like, you lost me, man.
Yeah,
Like,
we just
come on.
forgive when we forego logic and just start.
Yeah.
Now let me talk about this, because I watched this video that Sean King, the former quarterback for the Panthers, and
Yeah.
so Sean King, he goes on a show called the Coach JB Show, right? Have you ever heard of this guy?
The coach, I'm not sure.
Okay,
There's
Coach
some.
J.
I mean,
So his name's
I
Jason
might have
Brown.
seen it.
He had like that Last Chance U documentary on Netflix that blew up.
Okay, the name Jason Brown sounds familiar.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's been on Pat McAfee a couple times. He's been on Whitlock a few times. That's besides the point. So let me preface this. This is a guy that doesn't give any of these quarterbacks credit. He's a Stafford guy. He's a Stafford guy, okay? But
Right.
he's been saying that all the quarterback position has been watered down for the last 5 to 7 years. The fundamentals aren't getting taught. They're not taught how to read pre-snap. They're not taught how to read post-snap, so on and so forth. So he hates everybody. Josh Allen, overrated. Mahomes, trash.
Right.
So this isn't Jalen Hurts specific, what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Right? That's the reason why I'm prefacing this. He's just very bolsterous. So it sounds like hate, but this is part of his shtick. You know what I mean? But again, he played in the NFL. He played when the NFL had some teams in Europe. He played for those teams. So he's been around the block, so to speak. So him and Sean King were breaking down the Jalen Hurts interception play. Okay, and this is the points that I agree with. Okay.
Okay.
So from pre-snap, okay, you're reading it and you can think, okay, it can be this coverage, right? As soon as we send one, I think it was Devontae Smith. As soon as Devontae Smith goes in motion, the zone read that you may have had automatically should change into a man read. They're in man, right? That's what he's saying. This changes automatically into a man read. Okay. They're saying, Jason Brown and Sean King, that the first read, regardless, should have been Calcaterra, the tight end, that just runs a quick flag, 7 yards down. The safety's like 15 yards deep. So it's him one-on-one against the safety. If he misses, if he breaks tackle with the safety, he's walking for the touchdown. If not, it's a 7-yard gain. Okay. The second thing he said is that if your pre-snap is correct, right, and what you're reading is correct, and you do see the man, then yes, you have Dotson outside on a 1v1, but your two best receivers are man, right? Your Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are manned up. So then maybe that's when, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to give Dotson a shot here, that's when you say, all right, I have my best playmakers, my best weapons, one-on-one. Let me have faith in them to beat the guy. So these are all just good points that I like hearing these guys break down. You know what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to say, CDS, because I like hearing the breakdown, because I thought to myself, man, I didn't like the throw, right? I didn't like the throw. But when I hear these guys break down, I was like, dude, Calcaterra probably would have been a better read, and then you have man coverage, and as soon as you set go, you're seeing the man coverage play out. So you should really be looking at your two best weapons, AJ Brown one-on-one or Devontae Smith one-on-one, instead of looking to your third wide receiver go one-on-one on the outside on a fucking outplay. So I like these types of breakdowns, because I want it broken down. If I agree or disagree, explain to me in football terms why I should be agreeing or disagreeing, right? That's it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Now, I would have to go back and look at it again, because I think I actually broke that down on video, because people were so upset about that throw and trashing Jalen Hurts. And here's the thing for me. Ultimately, the throw itself was a bad throw because he threw it behind. So that is 100% on Jalen Hurts. It was not accurate. However, I don't agree with people who were saying, oh, AJ Brown's wide open and he threw it to the wrong person. And this is why I say I have to go back and look, because you're talking about them saying it's man and Calcaterra. And I wasn't looking at Calcaterra because I was watching what Jalen Hurts is reading in his progressions with Dotson and Brown. And I didn't see pure man. This is why I want to go back and watch, because obviously those guys know what they're talking about. So I'm not,
No,
there
I'll
was
send
this,
you the
there was a,
video because it's that's why this
yeah,
stuff's
I
so
have it.
good. Like you're talking about, they get
There's
all
a
these different
there's a
angles.
high safety,
Yeah,
and there's a high safety who is split, who really can take Dotson if he's reading the QB's eyes and stuff, or he's got AJ Brown for a while too. So AJ Brown is not purely one on one. And also the thing that I saw, now you could say this was wrong pre-snap if you want, but also in what I saw in terms of Jalen Hurts dropping back is for him in that Dotson was his hot read. Like if you watch him drop, immediately his first read is Dotson. He's looking there. The ball's released long before AJ Brown's an option. Now, if he makes that read and he sees Dotson's not open, because again, I think it was a bad throw. I don't think the
yeah,
receiver was covered. A good throw to the outside, it's a completed pass. But I think if he looks there and sees Dotson's covered and decides not to go there, his immediate next look is to his right, which is AJ Brown, who will now be coming open, and it is a touchdown. But I don't think it was a necessarily a bad decision by Hurts to go to Dotson, because Dotson was open and that was his first read. Your first read's open, that's where you're going with the ball. Now, the whole debate about whether that should have been based on pre-snap, that's a different argument. And I'd have to go back and look, because I wasn't paying attention to Devontae Smith at all or anything, because I was just focused on what people were saying about, oh, AJ Brown's wide open.
yeah.
I'm like, no, he's
That's what
not really.
That's what they're saying. The tell is that's
Oh,
the tell right there. It's like, okay, Smith's in motion. Smith's man goes with him in motion. It's like,
true.
boom. Now we know, dude. It's
So
actually pretty
here's the
incredible listening to these guys break it down, man. It's like they're speaking a
so
fucking different
here's
language.
the thing on that. Here's the thing on that, and I this is like a question. I'm not disagreeing with them or anything, and I can't remember. Is did the more secondary than the Eagles sent out receivers?
One more time,
Because
broke up a little bit.
did the Giants have more players in their secondary on that called defense than the Eagles had sending out receivers? And what I mean is, it could still be man, and then there could still be that safety, like I was thinking about, who's high.
I
You see
believe
what I'm saying?
yes, I believe they rushed 7. We had 6. I think they rushed 7. We had 6 blockers because Saquon stayed and blocked.
So
And then it was
we sent out 3 receivers, right?
it
No, we
was
sent out, but see,
Smith, Brown, Dotson, and Calcaterra were the 4 running routes.
okay. See, then I do have to look again, because I know there was a safety split between Dotson and Brown.
See,
I
there
mean,
was a
Dotson and Brown.
now Brown, yeah, Brown had somebody play him, maybe like a little bit of a press coverage. Smith goes out, his man follows him out. Okay,
Yeah.
then you have Dawson manned up, and then Calcaterra. This is where he could think that it's actually going to be zoned because the safety D'ing up on Calcaterra was 15 yards back. Usually,
Maybe that's what
usually
I'm
if you're
thinking.
not usually as soon as as soon as Smith goes motion, usually that safety would come down
Yeah.
and give up that it's man also. But the safety disguised it
Right.
a little bit based on what they're saying, disguised a little bit by playing back still. But as soon as it said go, he comes
Right.
up
Right.
and he comes up and starts pursuing playing D on Calcaterra, which took the safety out of the equation, which is
Well,
why Brown coming across looked so open.
see that's why I'm going to have to go back and look, because I didn't even see that safety come up. He stayed pretty deep from what I remember. So
Yeah.
that's why so I'm not disagreeing with it. This is like actually an interesting conversation for
I
me.
want to send I want to send you the video of them breaking it down.
Okay, yeah.
I want you to send them send that to you.
Yeah, send that to me, because I was interested in checking that out, because I know exactly the play you're talking about. But again, I was so focused on people yelling at Jalen Hurts for throwing to Dotson and when saying AJ Brown was wide open, which isn't true based on what Jalen saw. The ball was out of Jalen's hands before AJ Brown got anywhere near being
Yeah,
open.
and that's the
And
difference
again,
between. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just going to say again, it wasn't a bad read by Hurts in that should have been a completed pass for a 1st and goal. He just threw it behind him. It was a
Yeah,
bad throw. I'm
yeah.
not going to disagree with that, but I don't think the decision to throw to him was
Bad.
bad. There might have been better, maybe. I'd have to look, but it's not bad. Now, last point, before you go, I just want to say, because in general, what you're saying about those guys, I agree with, like, not about Hurts, but about quarterbacks in general now. And I think I've heard more and more people saying that college quarterbacks are coming out. College quarterbacks used to get 30, 40 starts in their college career plus. They'd come into the NFL, they would sit for 2, 3 years and learn the game.
Yep.
And now it's like they're playing 15, 20 games in college and they're coming in and they're starting in the NFL. They don't know a damn thing about quarterbacking. This is why, by the way, and why they always say a quarterback can play for as long as their arm is good, which is why you see guys like Flacco and Rodgers still lighting it up.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball 70 yards in the air, man. Okay. His arm. So now he still has the arm, and now he's got all that damn experience reading defenses. So you put him in a good system with players, which, by the way, also goes back to how important system and stuff is, even for good players, because Rodgers, everyone was like, oh, he's so washed up playing with the Jets, and now look at him in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
The guy's an MVP candidate. You know what I mean? And Joe Flacco going from Cleveland to Cincinnati. And, and again, that's experience too, because how many guys can go to a new team and within a week they're starting, and then they have a game like Joe Flacco did, right?
Not many.
I mean, that guy does have a point. Like we don't develop
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. There's no quarterback development anymore.
Yeah, and
in college either.
No, nowhere. Now,
nowhere,
dude. It's regressed so much. You when you hear this guy talk about it, like I sent you the video. When you hear him, you'll think it's hate, but just listen instead of like listen. All the digs that he's gonna take. Just listen, because you'll go through and like he'll trash Mahomes on a video and he'll trash. So because he breaks down Hurts' video, because he says this about fundamentals, right? There was a play to Devonta Smith, right? Do you remember that play, Devonta Smith on the outside? He beats his man, and I think it was an overthrow. I think this was an actual overthrow, or maybe he threw it out of bounds.
No, that was the one I would say. Yeah, that one was a bad throw because Hurts saw that as Devontae going more outside, but Devontae already had the defender beat straight down the field, and he should have thrown it straight down the field.
Now, dude, this guy, his co-host is a fucking shill, so it's hard for me to listen like episode by episode because I get fucking fed up. But he's animated, like CDS. He's animated, like when he turns. So he's talking about like the fundamentals. So when Jalen Hurts throws that ball, what Coach JB's saying is like, dude, what happened to getting the ball and driving, right? Getting it and driving it. Now they're teaching these kids to do these fucking Mahomes throws. So, and then he breaks down Hurts' footwork about how his hips just stay square. There's no rotating your hips. He's just slinging it out there, and it's like it's a fundamental breakdown that you see it all. This was just said on the Hurts video. Like you see it all throughout the whole entire league. It's like, dude, if he would have just stepped into it and drove it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, on that play, I'd have to go look, because I mean, sometimes it is necessitated by not being able to step up because of the rush. But to your
point, he said that. It's like, oh, there's a rush, dude. You need to know you're going to get hit anyway and throw that shit.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying. Like, dude, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. Stop doing this and just throwing the ball. Like, stop using your upper body. You're gonna get hit anyway. Step into the fucking throw and take the hit, and then get up and run down the field and cheer because you made a fucking.
I don't think that's a problem for Hurts. Like, I don't think Hurts is worried about getting hit. But to your point, what's interesting and about like the different angles and stuff is someone who. Now, he doesn't do it all the time. He does it out of necessity. That can do that is Aaron Rodgers. But here's the thing, and here's what I think a lot of them are not understanding. To your point about Mahomes and they all want to do all this stuff, is someone like Rodgers does all that stuff because he has nailed the fundamentals, and then he can do it for that reason. All these guys want to skip the foundation.
Yeah.
And when you skip the foundation, you've got nothing, and it's all going to fall apart. But to his point also that you brought up earlier that I agree with, and this is the problem, is also, and this is why it really pisses me off when people try, by looking at stats, try and compare quarterbacks now compared to, hell, even 15, 20 years ago, but especially into the 90s, the 80s, 70s. It's like these guys are putting up big numbers without being great quarterbacks because the NFL has changed so much that to me it basically, and I said this for years, is a flag. They're so insistent on making it all about offense and specifically passing that these are guys who would not be able to play quarterback 20 years ago.
No, that's a
But
great
they
point.
thrive now in this system.
That's a great point.
But they're not actually good quarterbacks. They're not.
And we can even I'm not even going to compare it. I'm
no,
not
I was just going to say real quick, you have got. I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick to add to that. You have guys now who are crappy quarterbacks that wouldn't play 20 years ago throwing for 4,000 yards. It's not because they're good. It's because that's today's NFL. Go ahead.
Because of course, I can't, I'm not going to compare these guys to the greats, right? I'm doing the great quarterbacks a disservice. Like if I'm comparing Herbert, Mahomes, Al, if I'm comparing any of these guys, I'll throw Hurts to Manning, Brady. I can't do that. Right? So let's just take a step down. Because I was watching the highlight footage yesterday. It came across my Twitter algorithm, and it was Donovan McNabb juking Sean Springs out of his boots, diving in there for a touchdown, right? And you think about quarterbacks like McNabb, you think about quarterbacks like Steve McNair, you think about quarterbacks like Dante Culpepper. Dude, listen to this. Outside of Cam Newton, I haven't even seen anybody like that. Josh Allen's just big. Those guys were big and agile. Josh Allen's just big. Ben Roethlisberger was just big. McNair, McNabb, Culpepper, they were big and agile in the open field. We don't even have guys like that anymore. We don't need they're just not here anymore. They're just not here.
No, we don't. And for me, well, the prototypical quarterback that you're talking about for me would be going back a little bit further, especially when you talk about the athleticism and being agile. And he wasn't bulky, but he was like 6'5", 6'6". I met him when I was a kid. I just randomly ran into him at a convenience store, and that's Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
Randall Cunningham of the Philadelphia Eagles. You remember him? No, yeah, I mean, absolutely. He's before your time, but
it seems like now all we have are just a bunch of inflated. I'm going to use the term inflated here, like inflated Tony Romo's, inflated Matt Ryan's, inflated. I mean, I think Philip Rivers is better than these guys, but just inflated, decent guys, in a watered down era that makes them seem more superior than they are.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good way of putting it. These are guys that if they played back then when there was defense, and it is radically different. If anyone goes back and look, and not even just the hits on the quarterback that were legal, but all of it, the physicality of cornerbacks with receivers, it was just all very different. And these guys who were lighting it up back then, they would throw for 1,600 yards and maybe 12 TDs and 15 interceptions if they played back in the day.
Yeah, they'd be relegated to game managers pretty much. Like Matt Castle in today's day and age would be a 4,000 yard a year quarterback. Matt Castle, we're
good
talking
example.
About.
Flip it, yeah.
Matt Hasselbeck, like Matt Hasselbeck, like that's the type of quarterbacks we're dealing with. Fucking Matt Hasselbacks that are just have an open offense because these players can't get hit. That's why the yards are so high.
And to be fair, or to be clear, like you said about them and hate and stuff, I'm not trying to hate or trash on the guys playing today. I'm saying it to make the point of how very different the game is today, and you cannot, because that's what pisses me off. So many people do it. They're like, "Oh, look at these numbers," and they'll go back and look at an all-time great in the '90s, and someone did that. Someone did that with oh man, I forget who they compared him to, but they took an quarterback from today and compared him to Troy Aikman and was like,
Caleb
why is Troy
Williams. They did
Aikman
that
in the
with
Hall of
Caleb
Fame?
Williams.
Yes. And it's like, why is Troy Aikman in the Hall of Fame? I'm like, are you kidding me? Caleb Williams would have been carried out on a stretcher in the third game of his career, never to be seen again if he had played back. Like,
yeah, and this turned into a whole. Not to go back to this guy, this Coach JB guy, and Jason Whitlock had a whole back and forth debate on this because they started comparing Troy Aikman, saying he's better than Caleb Williams, and what were they using as a large part of their metrics? Pro Football Focus. Like there's he has a better PFF number than Troy Aikman. So it's like, dude, you guys, and this is what he's like,
hey,
guys, I know what my eyes are telling me. I know what I'm watching. He's nowhere near better than these guys.
Yeah, crazy.
Nowhere near better than these guys. It's disgusting.
It's crazy. Oh, speaking of, though, I will say there's a little bit of hope. It's funny that you mentioned PFF because I've seen this past week, I've seen some growing pushback on how ridiculous those grades are.
Yeah,
including from Chris Long, by the way.
Yeah, Chris Long, and
which was
JJ
great
Watt,
to see.
JJ Watt as well.
Yeah, JJ Watt. Yeah, which was great to see because it's ridiculous. Now
again, dude, JJ Watt, man. Sorry, because we're talking about the old day and this day, people forget how fucking dominant JJ Watt was, dude. This guy was a beast, intercepting balls,
and he just retired.
Exactly, like guys, come on, man, come on.
It's wild.
And all this is Aaron Donald was great. I get it, he's a great player, but we haven't seen anything like Aaron Donald since who? JJ Watt, but JJ Watt was picking the ball off as a D end, giving you pick sixes as a D end. Oh. Like this whole Michael Parsons hype is like this shit pisses me off, dude. Like it frustrates me. Now I understand when the older generation does like back in my day. Like now I get it. Like I've hit that age.
That shows you how quickly it's changing. That you are getting that already, right?
Yeah,
like it's absolutely wild. Now, all right, now we got to talk. Here's it in the room thing for me, specific to the Eagles that I think we have to talk about. Because we talked about the line and the offensive line. Now, hopefully, also, some nicks and bruises there with Juergens and Dickinson and Johnson that if they get healthy, they elevate. But none of them are playing well, right? Like Mailata's not playing well either. Now, that being said, while they're definitely not last year's offensive line, they're still a very much above average offensive line. Okay. Now we have a guy playing for us who had some really good seasons in a Giants uniform when they had neither a passing game or a great offensive line. So we can't put it all on the offensive line. My question being, what the hell is wrong with Saquon Barkley, man? Because if he's that damn good, even with this offensive line, he should be a lot better, and he sure should have broken some runs by now just on own talent.
Now, here we go. Ready? This is why people don't pay running backs. It's that simple.
Yes.
This is why you don't pay running backs. I get it, dude. He's only 28 years old. He is only 28 years old. Only. Now let me just pull this up real quick.
That's what I was going to say. At 28, 29, running backs can fall off a cliff.
Exactly. But now on the flip side, right, we have Derrick Henry, who's 31. Dude, Derrick Henry, 1994. Holy smokes. 31 years old. And he looks like he's still well-oiled. He's getting rusty. You see the rust starting to build up on Derrick Henry a little bit. He's not holding the ball Henry's like he used to.
The exception.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also pointing out he just slipped down. He slipped down the cliff, and he's in the middle of right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dude, I remember seeing him cough up the ball this much. He's looking like Tiki Barber before Tom Coughlin. He's just fumbling and fumbling and fumbling and fumbling. This is why you don't pay guys, because again, what is wrong with Saquon? This offensive line is good enough to where you should at least give us something. You should at least be able to make a few people miss. You're not even making them miss, dude.
No, that's the key. I in no way expected last season, right? Like, I think we can all agree with that. But,
Yeah, we're not
He's
getting.
not even on pace in a 17-game season. He's not even on pace to have 1,000 yards, which should be a given for any starting running back in a 17-game season. We are talking about 60 yards a game, man. He can't even get that. He is like 125th out of 80 running backs, which is impossible, in his yards per carry. He has been absolutely awful.
I believe I saw 17 yards was his longest run so far. Like a
I believe so.
17-yard run. Like, dude,
He hasn't bounced a
come on,
single
man.
thing outside.
Come on, man.
Now, again, the offensive line's not last year, but they're probably still a top 10 offensive line. If he is that good, the man should still be. I mean, dude, he's averaging barely over 3 yards a carry in an NFL where the average is like 4.3.
Yeah, that's nowhere near good enough. Now, the only out that I'm going to give him is, now I don't want to give out, but I'll give a reason, right? Because again, right, this isn't Acho's job anymore. This isn't Kurt Warner's job anymore. This isn't Sean King or Coach JB. It's not their job anymore. These defense coordinators, it's their job to study Monday to Saturday, looking at patterns, looking at routines, looking at things that are replicated down and distance, like down and distance, down and distance. I am also seeing CDS. He is seeing a defender in the backfield a lot more often. Like the first defender he hits, the first defender that reaches him, it's past our line of scrimmage. So he's automatically needs to make somebody miss in the backfield and then break the line of scrimmage. It's like, dude, by the time I get the ball handed to me, I'm already seeing people in the backfield because it's so predictable. The defense coordinator's like, okay, they're bringing in, let's just say, right? Okay, they're bringing in Calcaterra. It's going to be a run to the left. We'll send in two. We'll send in two pass rushers. You know what I'm saying? So,
by the way, also
it's a chess match that we don't see all the time.
And that right there is a problem as well. Calcaterra may be the worst blocker in the NFL. So, like,
yeah, dude.
I'm just saying. But to your point, and I agree. Like, let's be clear. I'm not putting all the blame on his numbers on Saquon Barkley, but there's also a point where you say when you're getting paid, when you're the best, that means you also need to be able to produce.
Take off your clothes and just run up real quick.
You also need to be able to produce at a certain level, even when things aren't set up for you to be great. You know what I mean? Mm. Like he's got to be able to produce a little bit without having the best.
Go straight to the shower. Mason, straight to the shower. Sorry, chicks.
That's all right. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying he's going to be last year, but dude, you're getting paid a lot of money. Great players need to produce even when they don't have everything going their way. Like you're the one that's supposed to be elevating the team. Okay. The passing game's not working. The offensive line isn't great. You need to make a big play. And the other thing I will add, again, what's not fair is, because I think a lot of people are saying this, is, Saquon, there's predictability with the play calling and the offensive line isn't as good. And that's why Saquon's numbers aren't as good. And he still looks just as explosive. Okay. Well, why aren't we giving Jalen Hurts that same level of understanding, for lack of a better word, right? Like the play calling so damn predictable and everyone knows, like forget the fact that the actual route running and the play designs, from what I'm seeing, absolutely suck. You're throwing just the predictability of a defense being able to know run pass is huge. Let alone we run crappy plays on top of it.
Yeah.
Why aren't we should be giving Jalen Hurts some credit for actually doing what he's doing when it's that bad instead of bashing him all the time.
Yeah.
The last 4 games, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, passing, forget the run. Okay. 8 touchdowns, 1 interception in the last 4 games. Okay. In a full season, that's 34 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Are we really putting the blame on Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. But let me just play devil's advocate here. How many risks are we actually taking with the offense? You know what I mean? It's very safe.
I
Everything we do is very safe.
I 100% agree with you. That is part of the problem, and that is part of what leads into the predictability, I think,
Yeah.
as well. And I've said this before, and we've talked about this in all sports. Risk, reward. You've got to take risk to get rewarded.
Mm.
And it's great. Again, it's great that that was only Jalen Hurts' first interception. But I think part of that is because we're playing too safe, which again
Yeah.
leads into the predictability. It
Yeah.
leads into the fact that no, we're not throwing the ball downfield. We're like
Yeah.
the Eagles have become so focused on not turning the ball over that it's actually hurting them instead of helping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because we've all seen, and it's funny people talk about, oh, Jalen Hurts' completion percentage or this that is only this, 10 plus yards, or the Eagles barely ever throw the ball over 10 plus yards, and then they're saying that's because Jalen Hurts. Well, if you go back and look at his career and look at the tape, you can clearly see that's a lie. Jalen Hurts can throw the ball very well down the field, but the Eagles are not doing it. And I think part of that is the philosophy of no matter what, we don't want to turn the ball over. It's like we'd rather go 3 and out than turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're not going to take any risk. Therefore, we're going to make it very easy for the other team, and we can't move the ball now.
Yeah. Like, dude, I'm seeing these stats like over the last 3 games or so of our second half possessions. Like, have you seen this? It's like 3 and out,
3
three
and
and out,
out,
three and
3 and
out,
out.
punt, three and
We
out,
lead
three
the
and out, punt,
league.
3 and out, punt, field goal, 3 and out, punt, 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 3 and out. It's like, dude, this isn't good. But it all see the thing is it all ties in, right? So if we were to the passing that we do is only like 5 to maybe 10 yards down the field, except for like
Right,
the anomaly, right?
right.
That allows the linebackers to only play 5 yards
Yeah,
off the scrimmage or a blitz, and they're always close enough to make a play because the offense isn't extending the defense that much. If we do take shots down the field, 15-yard slant, 20-yard post, a deep ball, some zigzag, some things along those lines, well, then that'll make the linebackers drop into deep coverage 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, which will open up Saquon Barkley. But there's no need to, if you're a linebacker going against the Eagles, there's no need to take a step back. You either just sit where you are, 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, and just if a play comes near you, you make the play or you blitz. There's no need to take 10 steps back and
yeah.
start reading the quarterback's eyes. There's no need at all.
And it's so wild that you said that because again, that leads into the whole common sense thing. We were just talking about Saquon Barkley. Okay, so and you use the passing game to open up the running game and vice versa, and and we all get that. So how exactly are you opening up the run game, making it easier for Barkley when your pass game is basically throwing the ball as far as if you were running it anyway?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the defense is not adjusting to your pass game to make it easier for you to run because they can stay in the same spot for both because you're throwing the ball 3 yards downfield. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It's like you say, you don't open up the run game by passing it 2 yards.
mm.
Like,
You gotta take shots, but
you look at and again, I will also in general, interception numbers are down, I think, for most everyone. Again, it goes back to what we were saying about how much the game has changed and it opens up the offense and stuff. Because if you look at all the great quarterbacks, they all throw interceptions, man. Like a lot of interceptions. Not that they don't have necessarily have good touchdown to interception ratios or anything, but you know that's when you're taking shots down the field, interceptions are part of the deal. That's just and you have to live with it. It doesn't mean make stupid plays, but
it no,
and on top of that,
it's a good point. Now, this is what I'm gonna say because you brought his name up earlier, and even when Aaron Rodgers, he never had a high interception count, but
that's true.
this is the deal right here. This is the difference between when Aaron
But Brett Favre
Rodgers.
did.
No. I agree. This is the thing with Aaron Rodgers, right? Eagles wouldn't take risks down the field. Okay, this is different. Eagles don't take risks down the field. That's why Jalen Hurts' interception count is low, in my estimation. Aaron Rodgers, the offense, the play calling was still risky. He just threw it out of bounds instead. So he still had it in the defense's mind that they're willing to extend them. Whether he's going to make the bad throw and throw it out of bounds, that's a different thing, right? So Jalen, you can just throw the ball, or Patullo, or whoever the fuck is in charge. Who the fuck knows who's in charge of this offense? So make the
I think it's Nick.
Make the risky calls on offense, but let Jalen know, Jalen, if the deep play is not there, just throw it out of bounds. But now the offense is just safe where he's not throwing the interceptions because it's a 2-yard dink and dunk, a 3-yard. With Aaron Rodgers, dude, if Devontae Adams isn't open, if I know I'm dating myself right here, if Greg Jennings isn't open, I'm dating myself even more. If Donald Driver isn't open, he's just throwing it out. He's just throwing it out of bounds. Throw it out of bounds. Fucking AJ Brown's better than fucking Greg Jennings. Smith is just as good as a route runner as Devontae Adams. I don't even know if the fucking Packers ever had a tight end on Goddard or Calcaterra's level. I don't even think they ever had it. Dude, can you name a tight end for the Packers? That's like, wow, this guy's really good.
You know, it's funny when you said that. I can't think of his name. I do remember they had one really good tight end for a little while. In that, like, maybe end of Favre, beginning of Rodgers thing, and I can't remember his name, but
you know what's
wild? I think so.
Yeah, I think I'm.
But you know what's wild, to your point, that just it gives me more questions than answers again, because that I go, it's like I agree with you, but it makes no sense to me to not do that, because I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about how Jalen Hurts throws the football, right? And when he throws deep, and I will, this is one of those hills I will die on. He is one of the best, and by best I mean accurate, not just he has a great arm, deep passers in the NFL. I mean, he is a phenomenal deep ball thrower. Is how Jalen Hurts misses when he does throw deep, right? Like when he throws guys, right? So if he doesn't overthrow, which he does, I don't think I've ever seen him underthrow a deep ball. So he overthrows. Okay. So even if he doesn't overthrow and it's an interception, it's a punt, right? When you throw a deep ball that is an interception, it's basically you punted on an earlier down is what you did, right? So he overthrows, so you're not going to get many interceptions on the deep ball anyway. And if you do get the occasional, it's like a punt, and we should have faith in our defense because our defense is supposed to be pretty damn good. So so while I agree with what you're saying about it's that risk thing, my response is I don't think it's all that risky.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean?
What I'm saying is the play calling is not risky.
No, right. But it should, like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that it should be like that. Like, I don't think it's, if we analyze it with the way Hurts plays and how he throws a deep ball, I don't think it is risky to throw more deep balls.
No, I don't disagree. I would assume that.
So I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with the play calling.
Play calling, yeah. That's the point. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Then I guess Patullo might think it's risky.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like like what you're saying is they think it, or
Sirianni. They got to. Dude, you guys have to at least send one person deep throughout these play calls. It can't just be 3 guys running 15 yards or closer to the line of scrimmage. It's got to be one guy at least taking a shot. Shoot, 2 guys taking a shot. Have your tight ends cross each other. Yeah. Do something, dude. There's more creative plays in fucking on the Eagles Madden playbook than what I see them run on Sunday. There's this meme going around, dude, and it's like Eagles playbook. pass one, pass two, run one, run two.
Oh yeah, I saw that
That's
from
fun.
that's from, and I can't remember which one it
From
was,
like
but that's
Bliss or
from like
something,
one
like
of the
NFL Bliss or some
really
shit.
really earlier football
Football
video
games. Yeah,
games.
it's
Like it
like,
was really
guys,
really basic. But yeah, well, I've said this before too. I'm like,
Jermichael
okay,
Finley. Jermichael Finley. I looked it up.
okay, that
That's the
might
type.
be. I'm like, dude, guys, go back, and actually, you can go back even to just like Frank Reich and Doug Peterson. But I was like, go back to early Andy Reid, man, and the plays are in the archives in the offices somewhere. I mean, come on, man, take out one of Andy's, you know, 15 play scripts that he uses to start games and let's go with it. I mean, look how quickly we went from the freaking dagger to not throwing the ball 5 years. And that's the other thing that pisses me off that people so conveniently forget. Jalen Hurts in 2023 threw for over 3,800 yards. Jalen Hurts in 2022 threw for over 3,700 yards and missed a couple of games. AJ Brown had back-to-back 1,400-yard plus receiving games, and one of those seasons, Dante Smith also had over 1,000 yards. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have a track record. So this idea that all of a sudden Jalen Hurts can't pass the ball is absurd because very recent history says that's a lie. Like,
it
and look, to
it's
be
the play
clear,
calling, dude. Because
yeah,
Kellen Moore knew what he was doing. Again, whether he was I mean, I don't even know if I could say that he was a decent pro, right? But dude, Kellen Moore is a Boise State legend. Let's be honest
yeah,
here. Let's be
blue turf
honest.
it.
He put the blue turf on the map. As far as I'm, at least in my day. And dude, I've never heard of Boise State growing up. I see the blue turf. That's Kellen Moore's offense doing the Statue of Liberty, doing
Right,
all
right,
that shit, right?
right.
So yeah, he comes to the league. He's a backup and then he's out of the league very quickly. Fine, but he's played the game at a high level. He understands. The other guy, Steichen, I believe, who's in Indianapolis. Look at what this dude's doing
Yeah.
with Daniel Jones. Look at what he's doing with Daniel freaking Jones, dude.
Oh yeah.
And we got
And
this fucking guy.
See, that's another one, by the way, is to me like a great example of not so much more talent and putting a bunch of stars around you, but again, putting someone in a system
This guy's from
that
New
plays
Jersey,
to
dude.
their
I'm disgusted.
strengths.
This guy's from New Jersey, Hillsborough Township, New Jersey. Kevin Petula.
Putting a player in a position to use their strengths to be successful. That's what happened with Daniel Jones. You know, it's like that dumbass Cam Newton who wanted to make Joe Flacco's performance in Cincinnati about Jalen Hurts.
I didn't see that.
Right. But I just did a video on that, man.
I didn't see that. I'll get it.
But yeah, he tried to get what's the guy, Peggy, that he is there on his show. He tried to get him to trash Jalen Hurts by saying if Joe Flacco was in Philly, the offense would be more explosive. And the guy wouldn't do it. Like Cam was basically begging and saying, no, but you didn't answer the question. You didn't answer. And then when the guy literally answered the question
If
about
Joe
whether it would be
Flacco
more
was in Philly,
yeah.
dude,
And the guy goes, no, it would be more explosive with Jalen Hurts. And Cam is like, no, say less. Like he gave you the answer, Cam. You just didn't like it. But the point being, besides the fact that Newton's a moron and tries to make that game about Jalen Hurts somehow, to me, it's the opposite. It's a great example of how different a quarterback can be depending on the play calling in the system. Joe Flacco was trash early this season in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
He's still the same damn quarterback that just balled out and sent a different person switching teams. You know what I'm saying? But the play calling is very, very different.
Yeah, it's
now obviously players are too and stuff, but they're just great examples of, like Daniel Jones, how much the system and the play calling can matter, especially when you're talking about a quarterback.
Yeah.
But also, how about Ja'Marr Chase, right? Are we going to say 41-year-old Joe Flacco, who, by the way, hasn't played more than 9 games in almost a decade and really has not been good for a decade?
Now,
are we going to say that him and Ja'Marr Chase are a better combo than Hurts and AJ Brown? I don't think so. That's play calling.
But I will say this. Though, is that if Joe Flacco, I do think AJ Brown's numbers would look better if Flacco was a quarterback, because I think Flacco would just say, this is my number one receiver. I'm just going to only look in his direction and only give him the dude. Ja'Marr Chase had 23 targets that game.
But that's
23
my point.
targets. Holy
That's play calling.
crap. No.
That's play calling.
That's Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall. I'm only gonna give this guy the ball. I don't think that's play. I think that's just the quarterback saying, "This is my number one guy. I'm just going to continue to dude." If Joe Flacco's either
Well, I think
getting
it's
sacked or giving it to AJ Brown or Devontae Smith on that interception.
I think it's both, because I think that was the Bengals simplifying it, right? They brought in a new quarterback, doesn't know anything, doesn't know the play calls, doesn't know the terminology. Like, there's a lot to learn. And so I think the play calling, and then it's probably added to by Joe Flacco, was, hey, man, we're going to keep this thing real simple. We're throwing the ball to Ja'Marr Chase, and as long as he's open, we're going to continue to throw the ball to Ja'Marr Chase, because that way Joe Flacco doesn't have to think. He doesn't have to think about everything he needs to learn and process, which, of course, slows the quarterback down. He's like, I'm going to throw the ball to Ja'Marr Chase. If he is not open, which he was open all game, let's also add that factor, that the play design got Ja'Marr Chase open all game. We never get AJ Brown open.
Now I'm not going to disagree with you. And I don't know, man. I feel very Jalen Hurts bashing heavy today. I don't mean to come across this way. I do think that part of it is just, Coach, I'm a veteran and I know best. Like, Coach, I've been in this league 20 years and I know best right here. Like, it could be, okay, this is my read. This is the call. This is the call getting implemented to me. Okay. T. Higgins is my number one option. Okay. And Njoku is my number two. Okay. Break. Ja'Marr Chase is my number one. And Ja'Marr Chase is my number two.
I think also that the Bengals had the sense to make him the number one option for Joe Flacco a lot, again, to simplify the offense, because it's brand new to the team. He had no time.
Well, I'm saying contrary to that. I'm saying the play is for T. Higgins to be number one. Joe Flacco's veteran enough to say, dude, no, it's not.
I understand,
Coach. No, it's not, Coach.
But what I'm also saying is, I think the coaches are smarter than they are in Philly, and they also understood that. So they were saying Ja'Marr Chase is the number one option. Okay. That's why I'm saying I think it's a combination where Ja'Marr Chase was targeted a lot, and Joe Flacco probably also added to that. Because they're just not doing it. They're just not doing it in Philly. I think the play. Now, I will say, I've been thinking a lot this, because I've been bashing Kevin Patullo like everybody is. But I think one of the reasons maybe that he was hired is because I think this offense may actually be a lot more of Nick Sirianni's offense, right? He hired somebody where he can just be like, here's what I want you to call. And Kevin Patullo's not going to make waves. He just got a big promotion from Nick Sirianni. He's got the opportunity of a lifetime, whereas let's say they brought back Frank Reich. Mm-hmm. Frank Reich would ignore Nick Sirianni and run his offense.
Now, I hear you. Now this is the one thing that I want to say the difference between Sirianni and Belichick is that whenever Belichick's assistants were on their own, they always failed, right? They always failed. Charlie Weiss on his own failed. Grammel on his own failed. McDaniels on his own failed. Patricia on his own failed. Patricia's at Ohio State, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Sirianni's guys, when they leave Sirianni, they're relatively, if not successful, they're at least average, right? Gannon, at least average. Steichen in Indianapolis, I would consider that successful. He finally has a quarterback that he likes. Successful. Fucking, there's only so much you could do with Anthony Richardson. You know what I mean? There's only so much you could do. Kellen Moore, dude. The Saints have only won one game against the Giants, but if you watch Spencer Rattler, he's not that bad. Like, he's actually pretty good. He's pretty good. They just
I think he'll be a good QB if they let him develop.
They just aren't a good team, and I'm only saying that because I think this is like his first bad appointee, like his first bad. hire. Like, this is just a bad guy. He was good in a certain role. Just because you're good as an assistant manager doesn't mean you're going to be good as a store manager. You know what I
Well, I
mean?
think that's the key. I'm blanking on who it was now, but no, he had a bad one a couple years ago. The awful offensive coordinators that we've had were Nick Sirianni hires. The good ones were the organization's hires. But to your point, I think you actually nailed it there at the end. What I was going to say is it's also a lot of the NFL for the most part when they look at new head coaches, they like to hire the it guy as that. Well, nowadays it's almost always the offensive coordinator because of the way the league's changed. But further back, it used to be more whether it's a great defensive coordinator or a great offensive coordinator. That's where they look. But like you just said at the end, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a great head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that Philadelphia really lucked out on that I think is what teams need to do more of is they hired Vic Fangio as a defensive coordinator who is a guy that is perfectly happy with never being higher than a defensive coordinator. He is not looking to be a head coach. The problem with a lot of their offensive coordinators they're hiring, and I think that's a problem in the league in general, is they're all looking to at as a stepping stone. And that's the other thing people don't talk about that I think is amazing. Jalen Hurts, I think since high school, has had more offensive coordinators, more play callers than he has had seasons.
Yeah, no, he has never had an offensive coordinator, the same offensive
Yeah.
play caller back-to-back years throughout Alabama and here throughout the Eagles.
And in high school.
But yeah,
Like
we
since high
got
school.
Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson. I believe Brian Johnson's somewhere right now. The location escapes me, but he's somewhere. Is he not somewhere?
I don't remember, but he was terrible.
And then you got Kellen Moore, and now we got Kevin Petula. I mean, Brian Johnson,
Yeah, it's
2023. Yeah.
so I mean, that's when you're talking about for a quarterback, that's a big deal, man.
Yeah, but
because again,
my
you're talking
defense
about
in
college
is that these guys are just getting poached. These guys are just getting poached
but,
and poached
but
and
that
poached. This isn't
but that's what I'm saying.
the guy in
We need to go get an offensive coordinator who's a longtime offensive coordinator and is not looking at it as a stepping stone to a head coaching job. That's what I'm saying, because that's the point. Offensive coordinators, for the most part now, they're all like, I want to be an offensive coordinator and I'm going to have one good season, maybe two, and then I'm going to go become a head coach somewhere.
Well, the one guy that's coming to mind is the Chiefs guy. What was the Chiefs' name? The Chiefs offensive coordinator who never got hired. What was that guy's name?
I don't even remember because you know what? It's Andy Reid. I always think of him as the.
Oh yeah, Chiefs.
He runs the offense.
Eric Bieniemy. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Eric Bieniemy, right? Why isn't Eric Bieniemy getting a job? Why isn't he getting a job? Why isn't he getting a job? Why isn't he getting a job? And then he goes and gets a job and he completely shits the bed.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. For a long time, he might not wanted to do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, Vic Fangio is not going to look for a head coaching. You know what I mean?
Getting interviewed. He's getting interviewed for jobs. That's
Who?
That's
Fangio?
the whole. No. The Bieniemy guy. The Bieniemy guy.
Yeah,
the Bieniemy guy. It's like, right. Well, Fangio. Well, the difference is with Fangio. Fangio may have already had it because he already had a taste of head coach, right? He was the coach of the Broncos once upon a time.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's been a longtime defensive coordinator. It's not a stepping stone to a head coaching position for him at this point. That's the type of guy the Eagles need offensively.
Well, to the Fangio point, it's going to have to be somebody who's already tasted the head coach responsibility and now like, I don't need that. I just want to solely focus on the offense, which leads into a video that you made, Mike McDaniel. Yeah, I tasted the head coach. Right, not for me. I can't do it. It's not good enough. Yeah. Exactly. Now I'm just going to settle into this role. Same thing that may have happened with Josh McDaniels. I was a head coach. I shat the bed. I'm Bill. I'm coming back home, and I'll be an offensive coordinator.
Like, for me, I think that would be great, man. You got the most fun part of being a coach in the NFL, and you don't have the responsibility and the feet to the fire of being the head coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're doing the fun stuff, man. You draw. It's like Sandlot days when you're a kid, man. You get in the huddle and you draw in the dirt and you use little sticks. Like, okay, you run out to the fire hydrant and cut left, and you.
Yeah, well, the thing is, a lot of these guys are
a more sophisticated offense.
I don't even want to knock it. A lot of these guys are just money driven, right? The one guy in
Yeah.
uh the Bears head coach, what's that guy's name? The gentleman who took the Bears head
Oh,
coaching job, he got
yeah.
interviewed a year prior to take the job, and he said, "No, I'm good. I'll stay here in Detroit." Not many people are built like that and say, "You know what? I'm not ready yet. Let me take another year and really stay where I'm at with Dan Campbell, with Aaron Glenn, try to get better, try to hopefully make a run to the Super Bowl, and then if a job opens up next year, this current season, I'll go."
Yeah.
Not many guys are like that. As soon as they get the opportunity, hey, here's a contract.
Yeah.
A la Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore could have been ready for it, or could have not been ready for it, or he could have said,
Right.
"This is a good,
Well,
this is a good offer, but let me stay here. Let me get better.
the,
Let me finish."
the
But
flip side of that, though, there are 32 NFL teams.
yeah,
You may never get it. You may never get a head coaching opportunity again if you say no.
I agree. I
Ever.
agree.
That's the thing. So you're going to lean toward taking it, even if you might not be ready. Now, before we wrap up, I want to bring this back to the Eagles specifically on two things that I want to talk to you about that kind of tie in together, because then you also get into trades, defense. Okay, two huge issues. Defensive end, we're getting zero um, pressure on the quarterback from our defensive ends. I mean, they're not doing anything in the run game either. And CB2 is, I don't know, we could run you out there, I guess, and it'd probably be the same.
Yeah.
Right. So first, for defensive end, one thing. So what I want to get into
Get
is
Trey
trade
Hendrickson.
pos.
Get Trey
Trade
Hendrickson.
the final thing.
You there?
I was just going to reboot, and I hit the button when I heard you. I'm like, damn, wait, no, it's fixed. But yeah, Trey Henderson. So there's my thing. Like the trade.
Hmm.
Your call. Can hear me now. Are you there? What the heck is happening? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna reboot my computer when this thing's over. But the one thing I wanted to ask you before trade possibilities was, what do you think about? And I know a lot of people are saying it with Campbell, but I don't want to mess him up. Nakobe Dean's a heck of a linebacker, man. But obviously Campbell's been phenomenal. Now he'd be a little undersized, but what do you think of, you know, linebacker kind of pass rusher a la, Lawrence Taylor, if we want to go way, way back type of thing, playing a little bit more of like a defensive end speed pass rusher kind of guy to get him on the field, because I don't think you're going to bring him back and he's going to start ahead of Campbell at, because the Eagles really kind of like a two linebacker team.
So you're saying put Dean on the end?
Yeah, put Dean on the end.
Yeah,
Even
go
if
ahead.
maybe you're doing it in just obvious passing downs, maybe because he is undersized, but we got to get some pressure on the quarterback, man. Our defensive ends have been non-existent.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Because
dude,
if they could get
CDS,
Trey, that'd be awesome. But
dude.
they're going to give up a lot.
Dude, if I'm being honest with you, I'm calling Cincinnati, and I'm saying AJ Brown and what for Trey Hendrickson and T Higgins. AJ Brown
Oh,
and what
I
and
don't
what?
think I don't think they can though.
Why
And
not?
here's why. Because this is where how good Howie is with the salary cap comes back and bites you. I think if they trade him this season, AJ Brown, right, it is going to give them a $50 million cap hit.
Does any of that get worked out with the other team? Like, is there any you pay these years?
I don't know if there's any loophole to that, but that's above him. That pretty much makes him untradeable this year. Is what a lot of people are saying when you look at that number.
Now here we
go. That's the thing.
This is why AJ Brown needs to go this year. This is why he needs to go this year and right now. This is why he needs to go this year and right now. Let me say this. AJ Brown has currently taken on the position of the bad kid in the classroom that is now making the person he's sitting next to also a bad kid.
Right.
That is where we're at.
That's a good way of putting it.
He is fucking up, dude. Devontae Smith, dude.
That's what I'm worried about.
I don't know who I'm looking at anymore, man. Like I don't know who this guy is anymore. Now I know as these people get older, they mature, they become more of themselves. I get it. AJ Brown is now making Devontae Smith get lunch detention. This guy's never had lunch detention before. He's never gotten suspended before. He's never had to stay after class before. And now he's got to stay after class. Yeah. Now he's got to talk to now got to make a call home to your parents. Dude, you used to be a great kid in this class. You used to pay attention. What's happening with you? The person I'm sitting next to is literally not letting me focus, and he's how he acts is rubbing off on me, and now I am behaving this way.
Yeah.
Our first stream, we were gleaming about how good of a blocker Devontae Smith is, how much effort he always puts into every route. And look at us 6 weeks later.
Yeah, because it's him too. When I was saying that earlier about the effort and the route running, it wasn't just AJ Brown, although it was AJ Brown. It was also Dallas Goedert. It was also Devontae Smith.
Yeah, and these guys are all in the same room together. All right, receivers and tight ends, come in this room.
Yeah, you've got three of the best on the same team at their position in the NFL, and they're all running routes as if they're Randy Moss when he takes a game off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, man.
And that makes it kind of tough on your quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get your point. I don't think it's feasible money-wise for them. That's the only problem. And yeah, he's been irking me. Like, I've been defending him a lot, but he's not dumb. So
dude, you're not T.O., bro. You're not T.O.
Yeah.
You're not Chad. You're not Chad Ochocinco. You're a fucking annoying fuck. You're an annoying millennial
stupid
fuck,
stuff. And then he says, "Oh, I didn't mean it that way." BS, man, because you know exactly how it's going to be taken. I mean, even the point where he was asked about his Eagles Mount Rushmore. I'm like, first of all, you just don't answer the question. You simply say, "Hey, you know what? That's just the kind of dumb question I'm going to get that's going to cause."
None of those guys are on the Mount Rushmore. None of them. I don't give a fuck about Nick Foles. Great. No, not on it. Kelsey, sorry, not on it.
That was my thing.
You put yourself on the Eagles Mount Rushmore. AJ Brown, are you smoking crack? Are you high? Are you drunk? Did you get? Did you
that's
fall
the funny
off the bed? Like, are you all right? It's insane, dude. It's insane. You can't defend it, man. You can't defend it. Yeah. Mason, come to the front. Meet me in the front. Sure. Mason, how's the backyard look?
Good.
Am I going to tell you to go over it again? All right, meet me in the front. We'll go over it. I'm going to be off of this in a few minutes. All right. Where'd you put the line? Where'd you put the lawnmower?
Dude,
You
I
good?
don't have to get it. Yeah, you know what it is? It's the
All right, I'll be right out.
I think it's the browser keeps freezing on me. But remember, I talk about things being slow because of all the
What are you
stuff.
using?
So
Edge?
I'm using no, I have to use Google Chrome with this. And so I think it's just a resource thing. Like I got to clean out my hard drive and hope that helps and stuff. But
What kind of laptop is it?
It's an HP. It's like I said, it's only a year old. I mean, it's decent. I just think from all the stuff we're doing, I just got so much stuff loaded on it right now. And I think a big part of it is the editing software I use too. Because I usually I think probably what happens is, as you know, not that anyone else wants to hear this, but we have so much stuff open at times because of doing stuff, that so much stuff gets open, and then I open something that's intensive like this or my editing software, and it's just like the computer's like, yeah, man, that's way too much. You got
to go into settings and clear your cache.
Yeah, okay.
You got to clear your cache and see if that helps out a little
All right,
bit.
I'll do that.
Because remember I was telling you I was having trouble uploading videos, like 25-minute upload time. I cleared my cache, and now I'm back to 8 minutes, 9 minutes, like I was when I first got the PC.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out because it's been absolute wild. But yeah, to that AJ Brown thing, you were probably talking about, but just real quick, one, he shouldn't have answered the question. Like, he's smart enough to know that's going to cause a problem, especially by not putting Jalen Hurts on it. But to your point is, dude, and this is again recency bias, like you said about millennials. None of those guys are on it. The Eagles have been around a long time, man. How do you not have Chuck Bednarik on the Mount Rushmore for Philadelphia? And AJ Brown, have you not heard of guys like Harold Carmichael or Mike Quick, or again even T.O. to be honest? You know, I mean, like that's absolutely absurd. And Kelce, no, like, talk about the offensive lineman you named that came before Kelce. No knock on Kelce, but man, you don't have Jason Peter. Like, come on, AJ.
Runyon,
yeah.
Come on,
I mean,
man. What the fuck are we doing here?
You're just showing your ignorance with that. But yeah. But anyway, man, this is probably the longest stream that we did. Of course, that could be my fault being extended by my wanky computer. But yeah. Oh, but last thing though, I want to wrap up. We didn't even talk about CB2. I mean, do they have to make a trade there too? Because who on this roster?
Oh my god, dude, Ringo sucks. Trash, garbage, awful. Throw him out. Leave him in the garbage. Don't even pick him up.
Jackson's been terrible.
Yeah. What's the other? Yeah, Adoree Jackson. That was the other guy I was gonna say.
And then you have Bennett, but if he can't even get on the field with Jackson or Ringo, what does that say?
Yeah, man. I again, you're talking about the cap hit. That's the only thing I'm floating out there, because that's the only thing that other teams can look at and say, I want that. I'm floating out AJ Brown. Whatever. Just give me something for this guy. Give me something for this guy.
I'll look into it in more detail, but I don't think it's possible because of the way they structured everything with the salary cap. Like, I think that $50 million hit is a $50 million hit. You just lose that.
Well, okay. Now here's another guy, because he's always fucking hurt. What do you guys want for Dallas Goedert, man? What do you guys want for him? Like what can I get for him?
That's like he's going to be, at the end of his career, he's going to be one of those what if guys because of the injuries.
What can I get for him? Or you call up New York, because he hasn't done anything in New York outside his rookie year, and now I would hate to just bring in more ego. But Sauce Gardner,
but speaking,
he's just done with the Jets, man. He's just done with the Jets.
What's oh man, I'm blanking, dude. The guy in Seattle,
the wide receiver.
That was like the cornerback. That was like a all pro his rookie year. He's in his fourth year now, and he's kind of just been declining. But he's obviously has been really, really good. And I'm saying he's declined enough that they might consider making that trade. And I will say the one thing in the NFL compared to like other sports is draft picks are a lot more valuable in the NFL than say the NBA or, so, and Howie does a great job of stockpiling them. So if we can't move AJ Brown, we might be able to do something with draft picks.
Josh Jobe.
Is that who it is?
I mean, he was in the league, or Darian Kendrick, the only two guys.
We've got to do something at CB2, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But I mean, we were talked earlier this season. It's like, guys, we haven't even seen Tank Bigsby in a game yet. Did you
Yeah,
trade for him to trade him down the road for something? Like,
right.
what was the point of
That
this?
that made no sense at all. That made no sense at all. And by the way, we didn't even talk about the fact that we need a safety now as well, really, because Makuba's been.
Yes, but I think that's part of what makes the Eagles better. Let your young guys fight through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let,
right.
because
Yeah,
even
I
Jalen
mean,
Carter is doing fucking fuck all this season.
oh, he's
Like
been
he's doing
terrible
nothing
this year.
too. You know, so
Yeah,
let this guy fight through
terrible this year. It's like it's a Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
And I get your point, but the only problem is this is a team where it's nothing is acceptable other than a Super Bowl win right now. Like that's the window, and those windows are very short.
The crazy thing is,
You know,
I think this season has, because even though they started off like it's been the sour taste has been in Eagles fans' mouths all year long.
oh, they
Like
could be
we
1-5
celebrated
easily.
exactly, like we celebrated because of that Rams game, but there's been a sour. Like at this point, we would just be happy to make it back to the NFC Championship game.
Dude,
Like at this point, I would be surprised if this team gets back to the NFC Championship game.
At this point, I would be thrilled if we don't get our asses kicked by Carson Wentz today.
Or you guys, or you guys just wake up to the call. Or it's like, okay, the Rams are in front of us. Let's wake up to the call. Okay, the Giants.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sleeping on the Giants. The Bo Nix. All right, I'm sleeping on Bo Nix.
Yeah.
The Vikings. You guys 500? Okay, let me.
You know, if they keep going like this,
but nobody on this team is even connected to the Wentz days.
There's like
Who's
4 or 5
Mailata,
players.
that's it. Mailata, Dickerson, and Johnson. That's it.
And Hurts.
Like who else? It's like there's no emotional connection to wanna beat up.
As a fan, I don't want to lose to him.
Dude, if there's no emotional, again, like this is also what pisses me off. You guys couldn't, if Eagles, hey guys, if I'm sitting here and complaining saying you guys didn't get up for the Giants, like you guys didn't get up for the Giants. Dude, the Giants can be 0-13. And come week 14 or week 15, you better make sure that they're 0-14.
And that we'll finish up talking about that because we didn't even get into it.
It's like Jalen Carter. Dude, you went to Georgia, bro. Alabama could be terrible. You need to make sure you beat Alabama in their worst season. You have now inherited a 40-year-old rivalry, 50-year-old. Like this is now you die over these games, dude.
That is. And we didn't even touch on it because there's been so much to talk about. But so we'll end with that. That has been, for me, maybe the biggest thing that is not on the field that is unacceptable for a Philadelphia team is this lack of effort that we see from these guys, this lack of caring that we've seen this year from
like
this
even
team.
Sirianni, dude, why haven't you been a piece of shit yet?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even with the media, like why haven't you been a scumbag to the media yet? Like you're just like even in your press conferences, you're just rolling over and dying. Like you're not even sticking. Like you at least stuck it to the fans last year. You at least told us to go shove it very impolitely. Now you're just saying it like it's like word service. Like I don't believe you're actually mad at us. You're just saying it to say it. Like last year, I was like, dude, like this guy wanted to win so bad. He flipped on fans. You know what I mean? Like he wanted to win so bad, he flipped on. Now he's like, guys, it's not Patullo. Yeah, give it some time. It'll work out. Dude, you're a scumbag from New York. Act like it.
He made a big deal, as a lot of them have done, about turning the page and the Super Bowls behind them and all that. But I'm starting to see that doesn't seem to be true.
But where's the what's the word I'm looking for? I know it's tone, like tonality. Is that maybe the word?
What for
like
Nick?
in his voice, like he doesn't sound convincing.
There's no urgency.
Yeah, I'm not convinced when you're telling me this, Nick. Yeah. Like it's like
no sincerity,
you're
no authenticity.
It's like you're reading a script.
Yeah.
Like, dude, why aren't you fucking pissed? Yeah. Like, why aren't you pissed the fuck off? Like, even if you're gonna say Kevin Patullo, like, guys, Kevin Patullo was my choice. You guys don't like the offense. You don't like the offense. We're gonna get it around. But he's like, it's going to turn around. We're going to get things right. Maybe not those exact words, but like the way he's saying it is very fucking nonchalant.
And the problem is, it's even worse than that, because I saw the video of a bit of that when he was talking about the offense, and then someone said to him, I forget who asked the question, he said, "But are we going to see any changes with the play calling?" And Nick just goes, "No."
No, yeah, no.
Okay, so you've shown us that the play calling absolutely sucks, and now you're telling us there will be no changes. Like what are we doing then? Why are we still playing?
Yeah,
insane.
Now this is the thing. This is the difference in what I like or don't like compared to maybe other coaches and other fan bases liking or don't like. I wouldn't like maybe I wouldn't like it, or I would like it. I'm not sure. If Nick's, that's what I'm talking about, being like very scumbaggy, mean, like, be pissed about it. Let me see. What do you want to see change with the offense? Like come back. Give me something, Nick. Give me fucking something. Don't just say no. Dude, last year he shat on the fans so much that, remember, he brought his kids to the press conference to shield him,
to protect himself.
Like, dude, give me that. Give me that, where I'm like, dude, who is this guy talking to the media like this? Who is this guy thinking he's all bold and brash like this? Not, who is this carcass that's just giving me lip service? Why am I just watching a dead body just give me words that he doesn't even mean? It's absurd.
He's a guy who won a Super Bowl, and he's just like mailing it in now. But anyway,
because I've seen it before, man. Like, this is why it gets me pissed off. It's like, I've seen it before. I've seen you be counter. Like, I've seen you want to bump heads with people questioning you. Like, he's bumping heads, but it seems at this point he's bumping heads just to bump heads. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the thing is, let's face it, local Philly sports media with the Eagles, sometimes they're actually worse than national media. Like, they love to cause problems.
Dude, let me say this, because I've listened to some Philly radio, man, and I listen to New York radio every day. I listen to these guys every day. Dude, Philly radio needs to step it up or something, man. Like, it when I listen to, like, every time I tune in, it doesn't seem nearly as mean. Like, dude.
Just the other day, Howard Eskin said that Jalen Hurts isn't even the best quarterback on the Eagles, and that they should bench him and start Tanner McKee.
Send me these clips, because I want to hear it, man. Like, I want to hear it.
They cause problems.
Holy shit, man! It's fucking goodness gracious.
But not in the right way. Like, they're not a problem towards the team in terms of getting them better. They just want to cause things worse.
Yeah.
But damn, man, we're going for an hour and a half, so we got a game to get ready for. But yeah, man, no, appreciate you coming on. I think we covered a lot of stuff, man. A lot of fun as always. So hopefully we're going to do this next week. It's going to be 2 weeks in a row. We're getting on a roll starting now. We're going to get on a roll, and we're going to keep doing this. And the Eagles are going to turn the season around because of us. But yeah, man. So everybody, like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Go check out Ben's football. What's your football but annuals?
BDP
football
Talks
one
Football.
BDP football talks football, right?
Yeah, right here under my name, I got it. BDP Talks
Football. BDP Talks Football. See, I don't see that on my screen. I just see your name.
No? Oh yeah, okay, that's interesting.
So you might have to change that. But yeah, so go check that out as well, man. We'll talk to you guys in another video soon. Next week on the live. Go Birds. I'm like exhausted from even saying it now. We'll see how it goes.